I Was There, Man, episode 31, State of Shock, is brought to you by Soul Lyric. Details coming up. Canada's premier broadcast recording engineer, Doug McClement, is back as our storyteller.
And I was there, man.
I was there.
And I was there.
I was there, man.
But baby, I was there, man.
Picture this. It's 1983, a sweaty club in Toronto. Cameras rolling for CHUM CityTV. And on stage, a young guitar player who's about to take over the world. Stevie Ray Vaughan wasn't a household name yet, but if you were in that room at the Mocambo, you knew you were witnessing something different.
Doug McClement was there to record it, not just as a fan, but as the guy responsible for capturing lightning in a bottle. And here's the thing about lightning. Sometimes it bites back. The night before, Stevie got shocked by a live mic. Not metaphorically, for real.
So when the crew rolled into Toronto that night, they had one request for Doug. Make sure it doesn't happen again. What followed involved some quick thinking, a little DIY problem solving, and a stage that looked slightly less rock and roll than usual.
But when Stevie hit that first note, none of that mattered. We call this one State of Shock. Here's Doug.
I started doing them in 81, I guess. Because I started doing the CHUM shows in 80. So yeah, February 81. And we would do one or two a month. And so when this new guy that nobody was really that familiar with, Stevie Ray Vaughan, I remember getting the gig and I hadn't really heard of him. I certainly hadn't heard any music by him. Because the only thing we knew about him was that he had just turned down the David Bowie tour. He had been hired to, he played on Let's Dance.
Yeah, the album, yeah.
On the session, and Bowie asked him if he'd like to go on the tour, and he said, no, I've got my own record coming out, and I'd kind of like to go on tour of that. And people were just amazed that somebody would turn down David Bowie, who was at the peak popularity at the time. So there was that sort of curiosity, and CHUM was a little nervous in that they weren't really a blues station, and they weren't sure how their audience would react to an hour of solid blues. But we went ahead and did it. And we got down there at the Elmo, and I did 120 shows at the Elmo between 1980 and 1990. So we did a lot of shows there. But that particular show, they had just come from, I think, Ottawa the night before. And the night before, Stevie had gotten a really bad shock when he touched his guitar. He had some old Fender amps that didn't have three prongs.
They weren't grounded.
And he had touched his guitar strings on the mic stand and gotten a shock on his lip. The roadie said you could see the arc from the microphone hit his lip. So he was really gun shy. And he says, whatever happens on this broadcast, he says, we don't want that to happen. Can you do something to make that not happen? So we went down to Jacob's Hardware at Queen at Cameron, beside the Cameron House, and got some of that black pipe insulator rubber stuff that you cover 5/8" plumbing pipe with. And we put that on his mic stand. And if you look at that video, people ask me sometimes, what mic stands are those? They're large and black. That's pipe insulation.
That's amazing.
And so he couldn't possibly touch his guitar strings without hitting the rubber.
This one is special for me, as I've owned the VHS copy of this performance since 1990 or so. And I think I have it stashed somewhere, even though I don't have a way to play it back.
Did you say VHS? And weren't you talking about an 8-track? Damn, you're old. We came up with the idea of I Was There, Man to curate and preserve the memories of our rock and roll experiences. Music shaped our lives and forged our friendships.
Hi, it's Jerry here to tell you about Soul Lyric. Find it at soullyric.com and Soul Lyric app. That's SOULYRICAPP on Instagram. We tried it and we're blown away by how dead accurate it really is. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Doug McClement for that great story. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Look for more I Was There, Man on all your favorite platforms.